Hello and welcome back to the ranged only challenge in Bannerlord, and you can see here that we have the Northern Empire versus the Aserai. The Aserai are currently outnumbered, and that is not something that we want, that is for sure. Unfortunately, I have 42 Aserai recruits, and this is obviously not going to be a very... it's not going to be a very clean situation at all. And I'm going to go in here. This is very slightly pushing the balance of power in this particular battle in our favor, but that does not mean that it is going to be an overwhelming victory or indeed any positive effect whatsoever from this, especially considering I still have a crossbow. Do bear that in mind. And someone actually had a pretty cool idea, which was to kill or defeat, shall we say, 10 vassals, and then we could potentially use the bow again or something along those lines. I think that's what you had detailed there, but I'm not entirely sure. I think that actually sounds pretty cool, to be honest. I think that sounds pretty nice. But obviously, if you think about this, I mean, how many people do we have in this army right now? That's indeed the issue, because if we have a lot of people right now in this enemy army and I'm able to defeat them, I don't think that that should count, right? Surely that shouldn't count, because if it does, then that means that I am going to be defeating, what, 5-6 vassals, which I think is maybe a little bit too fast. I am actually very much liking the ability to level up my character a little bit faster now, because I do have the crossbow and it is just such a low skill that it is a lot easier to gain experience that way. So maybe it's an idea to just wait with this. I'm not entirely sure at the moment. Are these my units heading in here? No, these are not my units heading in here. Okay, phew. I was a little bit worried about that. Someone actually also mentioned that I don't command my units and then I complain about stuff. Well, here's the thing. Yeah, I don't. Because I say that I'm putting them in auto-delegate. I'm not entirely sure. Do I have to mention that every single time? I don't know, but whatever the case, I'm putting my units in auto-delegate because I like to see how the AI does. And yeah, I think it's perfectly fine for me to complain about the AI if the AI gets my guys killed if they are on auto-delegate. I mean, that kind of makes sense, right? Because it's a test to see how they do. I mean, I'm not entirely sure what you're expecting from that. But anyway, we're going to be seeing how they do, because they are on auto-delegate. Oh, there we go. There's the disclaimer right there. Apparently I have to mention that. I don't know why. Anyway, let's see if I can maybe get my crossbow skill leveled up a little bit more. I would love to be able to get... Oh yeah, there we go. I want to get 75 if at all possible. I'd like to get 75. But yeah, as I say, I'm not entirely sure if it's going to really apply that I have defeated the vassals in this army here, because if I am defeating them, it doesn't really hold much water, because I am not really the one achieving victory here. It is a team effort, and obviously if it is a team effort, then it makes sense for me not to take full credit. So maybe I'll take one kill, maybe one vassal from this fight, and then put it towards the total, because I think I've already won a couple of battles. I think I've won, like, what, 2 battles or something like that before this, and that's pretty good in my opinion. That's actually not bad. I feel like we've been doing okay, considering this is a completely new weapon type for me to use. And bear in mind, I am actually taking massive damage here as well, which is somewhat problematic. I haven't lost any units whatsoever. Are my forces even in the battle? Yes, they are. Look, they are actually in the battle. Okay, that's that was actually kind of interesting to me, because I thought to myself, I'm not losing anyone. That's a little bit weird. I would have expected us to lose people almost immediately, but apparently we're getting quite lucky. And I've got to be really careful here as well. I've got to remember, I don't have a shield. I can't just switch to the shield and then be completely safe or be much more defensible against any kind of ranged attack. Maybe we can get some damage. Maybe we can get some damage from relatively far away. Oh, that was a nice hit on the horse. Unfortunately, it was just a horse hit, and we don't want that. Oh, this is really nice, actually. The Allied AI, I think this is Allied AI at least. I mean, I don't think these are my forces. No, these are not my forces. I think some of them are actually, but not all of them. And generally, it's really nice that they're fighting on this hill here. It's making a huge difference to our survivability and generally the viability of how we can defend this area has gone up so much just from them having this hill at their backs. Unfortunately, it is making it a little bit hard for my units to actually help out in this respect. So that's obviously a bit of a problem, considering, as you can see, most of my archers are all the way back here. And bear in mind, again, they're on auto-delegate because I want to see how my forces actually respond to working as a team. I would have already moved my forces probably forward a little bit here to try and see if we can assist, get them on the hilltop here and see what happens with that. However, the enemy is so close by that if I were to move my archers, then they might very well be beset upon by the opponent very, very fast, and I would not want that. So let me actually see if I can move them a little bit better here. So let me see if I can move them forward just so that they can get onto this small hill here, and then maybe we can perform kind of like a ranged flank, if you know what I mean. So we'll just try to get around on this side and maybe try to fire off a couple of arrows in this direction. I think this might seem like a pretty effective maneuver. Maybe we can get it working. Maybe it would be nice if we could. Let's move my infantry around here. Bear in mind that obviously because I am playing with a loose formation at the moment with our archers, their line is extremely spread out. So generally, if they are going to be attacked, then I can't really do too much to protect them with my infantry because the infantry is just not numerous enough to be able to cover them all. But that's okay, because I think now that our forces are in position, proper positions, because obviously they're now off auto-delegate, so they're not actually doing anything that the AI says now, that we might very well see some good results here. I'm actually, you know, I would love it if there wasn't a rock formation here. If there wasn't a rock formation here, this would be so nice and super effective. But you can see here that we're getting quite a few kills, aren't we? I'm going to take a look at the amount of kills that our own army was able to achieve in the screen here. Now we got 57, 58 actually. I think that we could have done much better. Oh, Iteria has died on the battlefield as well, so that's really nice. And in general, we lost 0. That is only because we basically kept every single person in our army all the way back and allowed all of our forces, all of our Aserai allied forces to go forward. And even then, they actually responded very, very well, in my opinion at least. They were able to defend themselves quite nicely without my interference, which I got to say, I applaud the AI for being able to do that. Anyway, there's a number of vassals here. You can see how many there are. There's quite a few there. I think there's like 5 or something like that. We'll take a look in just a second. Just going to take all the prisoners, and then we're going to take these guys, take all the loot. Thank you very much. And now let me see. Can I? Oh, I can't scroll back. That's really irritating. Yeah, I tried to actually scroll back while we were in that menu, but unfortunately, I'm not able to. So it seems as though I think I was able to take one of them prisoner, wasn't I? Or did I just let him go? I think I might have let him go because I pressed enter and or return, depending on what you want to call it. But generally, I pressed that key because I wanted to scroll back, and it just automatically decided something for me. So yeah, that's a little bit of a problem there. I'd love to be able to scroll back in the text log without having to press enter first or something like that. But obviously that might be a little bit clunky for other situations, like for example zooming out. But I still think, for example, in this area, sure, this is the text log, so obviously if I use the mouse wheel in this area, it should move. Like for example, I'm using the mouse wheel right here, and then boom, I use the mouse wheel over here and it doesn't do anything. So generally, I feel like that could be implemented to make it just that much easier for people to see what kinds of vassals have been taken prisoner and so on. I think that would be a nice change, a nice little improvement. It's just a small improvement, nothing nothing too amazing or anything like that. Okay, so let me actually just sell a couple of these things, sell the leather as well, and there we go. Okay, that's absolutely fine. So let's actually just take a quick look. I have trade skill 50 now, so I'm going to be spending that in just a second, or I'm going to be placing that in just a second, that is. And we're going to have a look at the javelins, because I don't think I still think I don't have, no, I still do not have a pole of any kind that we will be able to use, which is really, really grinding my gears at this point. I'd love to be able to get one. Unfortunately, that is just not going to happen, and especially considering I have 6% energy, which is also not going to really help. Anyway, we leveled up one Azurai recruit because, of course, we barely got into any of the fighting, and most of the people that were actually able to get, you know, any kind of fighting in were my master archers. But we were able to defend Lavinia Castle, which I think is pretty good. And we did level up our crossbow skill at least a little bit. Nothing too dramatic right there, but still not too bad. Your shops have 20% less upkeep, mark item prices are relative to average price, and party can carry 30% more weight. Alright, 30% more weight, in my opinion, is probably the way to go, especially for a non-trader character, even though I do have... Don't I have one? Yeah, I have like one workshop or something like that. But yeah, 20% less upkeep, I don't really care about that, to be honest. I'm swimming in money right now, so carrying 30% more is probably going to give me more value than the other option. So we'll see what we can do. Okay, so I'm going to go along with Mr. Caban right here. Oh, hello there. Okay, apparently I'm not going to go along with Mr. Caban, because I actually thought to myself I would be able to maybe just kind of tag along. Maybe he'd do some kind of siege. I wouldn't have minded that. I think that would have been pretty fun, but yeah, it doesn't seem like going to be able to do that. Let's just take a look at this guy's composition here real quick. Okay, so oh yeah, okay, so this guy is going to be relatively easy for us to defeat. However, he does have some elites. He has some pretty good horse archers, and that's it, I think. He doesn't seem to have anything really dangerous, so I shouldn't need to worry about him too much. Oh yeah, that actually reminds me that I need to go and sell my prisoners. I could go to Danustica, actually. Danustica is really, really close by. Look at that. He actually wanted to attack me right there. Can you believe that? Oh. Oh, this is... oh, is this bad? Is this actually bad? Let me actually have a look. No. Okay, this is fine. I actually thought that we might be on the back foot. But, oh, we're not. And this is a very, very picturesque scene before us right here. Just look at the sun just peeking over the hills. I think it is peeking over, or it is saying goodbye. I'm not entirely sure if it's sunset or sunrise. I think it's sunrise. But that's what my initial instinct says, but who knows. Anyway, let's see what we can do here. Now, I'm not going to go auto-delegate for this. I'm going to see what we're capable of doing ourselves, see if we can maybe get our recruits a little bit more experience. So don't be surprised, I'm saying, you know, don't be surprised if a bunch of my infantry end up dying, because obviously they are indeed recruits, and they are, well, kind of easy to kill. So, yeah, I'm just letting you know now, because apparently some people don't get that recruits die really fast. I'm not entirely sure what's up with that. Anyway, let me see if I can do something here. Ah, I was just about to fire, and then they run into the tree. Must be like, well, me, because that's what I do. Oh, nice hit. Wow, that was actually well remarkable. That was one of the rarest occasions that is ever going to befall us. That is for sure. Anyway, let's have a look here. Okay, so my forces are still far behind our allies, but I am going to be placing them in the forest here. I think this is probably going to be the most defensible location for them. I'm looking forward to this like no one's business, because if we can get the height advantage and also make sure that we are planted firmly in the tree line, it's going to be very difficult for enemy infantry and enemy cavalry to assault our forces. So I'm very much looking forward to this. Let's see if I can maybe do some damage. Maybe I can do some damage to this guy. Nice, a little bit of damage right there. Can I do a little bit more, please? There we go. That was a headshot, and yet... Really? That was a headshot but didn't kill him, because I'm literally using a light crossbow, of course. That is to be expected. No doubt. Okay, so let's put my archers here. Bear in mind that obviously my main goal is to win the battle, and my secondary goal is to get experience for my recruits. So even if my recruits don't get any kills, then that's absolutely fine. I don't have a real big problem with that, you know. If they don't, then they don't. So we're going to see what we can do here. I'm hopeful that we'll split their forces. I think we've split their forces quite nicely, so let me actually just see if I can move my forces ahead here. Are they actually coming, or do you want to actually respond to my commands at the moment, infantry? They seem to be a little bit slow, which is, I suppose, to be expected, considering this is for some of them their first taste of battle, and no doubt they're going to be a little bit antsy about it. I would be, so I'm not surprised, right? Okay, so let me have a look here. Okay, my forces are still taking an age to get over here. Not entirely sure why, but I'm going to tell my forces... Should I tell them to charge in now, actually? Yeah, I think I should. Yeah, I think I should. Okay, let's move my forces over here. Move my archers into a little bit of a better position. Now, bear in mind, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we lose my entire army at this point, because it seems as though all of our allies have been killed. Oh, and I am... dead. Wow. Well. What did I actually get killed by? It was definitely an Imperial Sergeant Crossbowman. 100% it was an Imperial Sergeant Crossbowman. Okay, yeah, so we're going to lose a whole bunch of units now. I mean, I think we would have lost quite a few before anyway, because the Allied forces are taking so long to get back over to that position, especially not even utilizing their cavalry. And now here's the thing. I'm complaining about the AI, okay, I am, but that is only because I'm not commanding these guys, and they're not actually coming over to assist us, but obviously we're out of position, so there is only me to blame in that respect. But I really thought that positioning, that was really good in my opinion, but obviously can't really do much if the enemy just outnumbers us. I mean, they basically just outnumbered us towards the end there, and that was the only real problem, especially considering we had mostly recruits as a shield wall for our archers. And if we didn't have those recruits, we probably would have been able to hold the line at least until the Allied forces had been able to get back to assist us. At least I was hoping that that would be the case. Anyway, let's just zoom out a little bit here, see what exactly is going on. It seems as though we are going to be achieving victory here, but at what cost? I lost 18 recruits, but that's not too bad. 10 Master Archers, I would have preferred not to lose any of those, thank you. But that is how things have to be if we're going to be getting experience for our forces, especially considering I'm hoping that we're going to get a good amount here. Oh, look at that. Okay, so each side actually lost a vassal right there. So they lost Diaska and we lost Mara, which is obviously not very good at all. Let me actually take a quick look. Yeah, there's Mara right there, and Diaska is on the other side there too. Okay, yeah. That's pretty harsh. That's pretty harsh. Okay, well, whatever the case, I do have some prisoners. Obviously, that doesn't make that much sense now, because I don't have any space. I could take them, but I'm gonna go down to such a crawl that it's really not gonna make that much sense, really. It's just gonna make us move too slowly. Okay, so let me go over to Danustica right now. This is obviously a big problem, because now I'm having a situation where I'm just limping along, which is precisely the reason why I didn't want to go in there, but kind of wanted to level, you know? Kind of wanted to level some of our forces and see what we could do. Especially, I felt like that height advantage was great, but yeah, as I say, apparently our allied forces really just kind of crumpled there for some reason. I don't know why, but yeah, that's going to happen. Okay, so there's the step warbow. I'm going to aim to hopefully use that again at some point. Not entirely sure. We're not going to be using any of the same armor either, by the way. Let me actually just... Oh, yeah. Okay, so I can't sell anything here because, unfortunately, that is going to bankrupt this particular marketplace very, very quickly. But yes, I'm not going to be selling my old armor here. I think I'll probably sell it somewhere else. Or I will sell a little bit of the armor, at least for the moment, and we'll see what we can do. There we go. Let's just sell all of those guys, and then we're going to go here. Let's just sell in value, because, I mean, you can see here, look at this. This is my old armor, obviously, as you can see right there, and it's quite clearly very, very expensive. So we're just going to sell some of the lower quality items, and then we will move on. Obviously, we don't even need the cash, so it's not like that is really a big deal. But getting rid of all this inventory. I mean, look, what? My carry capacity is absolutely insane right now. That is purely for the 30% increase, in my opinion. I think that's probably the reason why that has happened. That is super, super nice. Okay, so I guess what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of hitch a ride with this guy right here, because he is besieging Phykeon, and I would like to participate with him. Oh, apparently he's not deciding to do that any further. He's traveling to Danustica now. I assume he's actually out of food. I wouldn't be surprised if that is the case. I think he's probably out of food, and his army is going to start dwindling very, very quickly, because it does have a massive cost to run around with an army of that size for an extended period of time. You need a massive amount of supplies, and most of the time these AI vassals are just not capable of pre-planning for that kind of expedition. They just won't do that. I don't know why, but they just don't. They probably just don't keep a huge amount on them or anything like that. Okay, let me just manage the town real fast. Okay, yeah, there's nothing in the reserves here. I do need to make sure that we continue building upgrades. We want to get every single upgrade to level 3 as fast as we possibly can. I'm just queuing up a whole bunch of random stuff at the moment. Don't really mind what it is, as long as it's something. You know, getting something built is better than getting nothing. So let's just do that, and we need to do a little bit of micromanagement at our castle as well. As you can see, this still has a little bit of reserve cash, but they're not building anything with it, which is an absolute waste. So let's get a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah, we need to get the walls up and running, to be honest. That's going to take a long time, though. As you can see, this got 99 days. There we go. There we go. That's better. 65 days. I mean, yeah, if you think about it, it's not going to take that long, because 65 days in this game, especially when you're waiting around a lot of the time, it's probably not going to take too long. Maybe, cross fingers. Not entirely sure about that. But anyway, let's see where Phykeon is, because it's all the way over there. It's pretty deep into enemy territory. I'm really surprised that they're not going for Onira at this point. That is really strange. I have no clue why they wouldn't go for Onira. It makes all the sense in the world to go for the closest one, surely. I mean, it must have a massive amount in the garrison. That must be the reason, right? Let's actually have a look, because I am super intrigued about that. I really want to make sure that I can complain about the AI again, maybe, because I'm certainly controlling them, and I certainly have the ability to control them. Anyway, let's have a look. That's going to be funny. Okay, 227, all right. 227, and this guy, oh, what's he doing? Hello there. Do you think I can fight this guy? I think I probably can. Oh, that's the reason. Okay, yeah. Oh, Lukon himself. Okay, Lukon himself is right there. Okay, we might have an opportunity to take the leader of the enemy's forces prisoner. Unfortunately, there are a number of people in the area that are seeing fit to maybe do a little bit of an interception job right here. I'm going to try and see if I can maybe pick off a couple of vassals on the outskirts. We're going to have to attack this guy manually, otherwise auto-resolve is probably going to result in a lot of losses on our side. I'm going to auto-delegate. That means the AI is taking control of my forces. Yes. Okay, so otherwise, I'm thinking, actually, maybe we don't want to do that. Maybe we want to go over here, because obviously going by the tree line is probably going to be the most advantageous for us, but maybe not. It really very much depends. Let's see if I can get some headshots. Ah, the arc of the bolt is throwing me off quite a bit when we're running really, really quickly here. Nice. Nice. Look at that experience gain. Oh, this is really nice, actually. It feels like I'm using a proper bow as well, because the crossbow seems to be reloading relatively fast. Obviously, it's not as fast as a real bow, but still, it's doing some really nice work for us right here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put... Oh, these guys are in shield wall? Wow, they actually went into shield wall automatically. That's crazy. Okay, I was not expecting that. Very good. I like that. Yes, that's the kind of thing I want to see. And these guys are skirmishing a little bit, which is obviously much better than them just standing still. Obviously, I would need to be a little bit more active, need to micromanage our forces much more significantly if I wanted to do skirmishing myself. Let me see if I can just distract the archers a little bit here. And there we go. And oh, wait a minute. Oh, these guys need to charge. The infantry needs to charge because... Oh, no, never mind. Apparently, it is not required that they charge in because the archers are taking care of everything. But I am going to continue the charge here. I think that makes all the sense in the world considering their morale has now plummeted and they have done a great job. Now, that is one of the most perfect examples of how the AI should be most of the time. Obviously, we had a pretty overwhelming advantage in terms of power levels, and we did outnumber the guy quite a lot as well. But the AI acted in exactly the way that you would expect them to act, because they know that they are good. They know that they have the skills and the equipment and the numbers to back it up. So they're acting in accordance with that. And it really makes a huge difference. However, that's not always how it goes. That's the reason why sometimes I open up a discussion about the AI, and it's always nice to, you know, see how you feel about it as well, because obviously that is, I mean, you're the player base, right? You're the player base, and you're the community of the game. Kind of makes sense that the player base or the community would have some kind of request or demand or suggestion with which to improve the game that they enjoy a lot, right? Surely that makes sense, no? Anyway, let's see if I can maybe catch up with this guy and get him. Yeah, there we go. Whew, okay, a little bit too close for my liking because I was really worried that we were going to be running in against someone else and then they were going to absolutely murder us. Okay, so let's see once again. I'm gonna do another little test here, and we're gonna see what they do. What is the infantry gonna do right now? Doesn't seem like anything at the moment. There's the enemy. They haven't moved very far from their spawn location, which is obviously very telling of how they think this battle is going to go. That's what they tend to do. AI tends to be very defensive when they are, well, outmatched, which is to be expected, of course. You're going to play defensively in that kind of situation. I'm not begrudging them that at all. They can decide whatever they want to do. This is an amazing situation for them, actually. Placing themselves on this hill right here, if they have a reasonable amount of archers, is going to be a pretty decent way to go. So we'll see how that pans out for them. I was actually trying to switch to a melee weapon there as I was approaching the back of our opponent. But of course, I'm not able to do that at the moment. I might... Okay, this is actually kind of weird. It feels to me like a person playing chess against themselves. Does that make some sense? Because they know the outcome because it's the same person. So obviously the AI knows the outcome of this battle if they do these particular actions in this sequence. You know what I mean? So, for example, if I was commanding my army at the moment, do you think that the enemy's forces would have given up that amazing defensive position to come over here into open ground? It's kind of strange. I don't know why they would have given that up. Because they're going to get over that ridge right there if they continue to advance, and they will get absolutely shredded. They will die with literally no time at all. The range is going to pull back a bit. Yeah, yeah, as you would expect, and they are now skirmishing from behind. That is to be expected as well. But now look at what's happened. The enemy has separated themselves from their ranged support. And their ranged support can't see the enemy because we're fighting on a crested ridge right there, which is really quite amazing. And this is not due to our forces being clever at strategy or anything like that. It's just due to the enemy's strategy completely falling apart. And I don't know why they decided to do that. So there you go. It's kind of it's a mystery. Let's just say it's a mystery because I have no idea why they would do that. But I'm not complaining because it's the enemy AI and I'm happy with that. But it is kind of in the same sort of analogy that I gave, where it's a person playing chess against themselves because they know what they're going to do and so on. But oh well, it's not a problem. I don't really mind. I mean, I enjoy chess just as much as the next guy, so whatever. All right, I'm going to take this person prisoner. Thank you very much. And now we're going to move forward. There we are. All right, so let's actually take a look and see what the status is of this fellow's army, because no doubt he's still chasing. This is a really big time waste for them as well, because they are going to be losing supplies soon enough. I actually don't know how quick that's going to happen, but we'll see what happens. Okay, reduces accuracy penalty by moving by 30%. Donkey Swiftness. I love the name of this particular perk. I'm going to be taking it because I am always moving with my crossbow, so why not? And here's the big fight. Oh, yes. Oh, now that is going to be super, super fun to participate in. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to end this episode off here. Next time, we're going to fight this massive battle and see what happens. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.